All right, we'll move on to the first game. We got the Seahawks at the 49ers. As you guys see, the Niners are a 9-point favorite. How do you guys feel about this game? And do you guys think it's gonna be competitive, or do you think it's gonna hold true to the spread?
Yeah, I mean, I'll kick it off. Um, yeah, so Seahawks kind of backed in a little bit in terms of the playoffs. You guys know some things had to fall their way in Week 18. Now I got to give props to Geno Smith. Had a heck of a season. He's a Pro Bowler. Again, probably the I don't know if he can win Comeback Player of the Year, but definitely a candidate. Had an amazing season, especially for a guy that we really didn't expect much out of. I like Kenny Walker. I actually like the receivers too. But that San Francisco team has been rolling. I think something like what 10 wins in a row. I think. Um, so with the two-headed monster they have in the backfield, with Mitchell back now, with McCaffrey, but really for San Francisco, even with Purdy in, and really no matter who the quarterback has been, it's been about that defense. They play amazing defense. Probably have the defense player of the year from the Ohio State in Nick Bosa. But we could talk about Fred Warner. We can talk. I mean, literally on all levels, that is an amazing defense. So really, what they do is they ask Brock Purdy not to make any major mistakes. Check down when you need to check down. Get the ball to McCaffrey if that's the play, and nothing's wrong with a punt. And really, that has been their formula. And I think, like I said, I may be tripping, but I think they won 10 games in a row. So yeah, I wish the best for Seattle, but I think I got to go with San Francisco in this game.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know how you can go any different. You can go against the grain with that one. Like I something deep down in me tells me that there could be a close game here. It's a divisional game, but at the same time, like they lost. The Seahawks have lost 2 games already.
Mm-hmm.
Um, how's it
You good,
go?
bro?
Yeah, turn my lights up.
All right.
Oh yeah. Now you
Um,
don't look light skinned no more.
yeah, he's white skin.
Yeah.
But anywho, yeah, I think San Francisco has an opportunity to really blow them out, make this really uncompetitive. Like I said, if it was a regular season game, maybe you could take this game a little more serious. But in the playoffs, it's a different beast. Obviously, Pete Carroll has that experience. I think that will help them a lot. It's going to be tough because I don't see Kenneth Walker or any other running backs they have. DJ Dallas really running the football like that. The Niners they're on a 10-game win streak. They
Yeah.
haven't lost since October, which is crazy. Them and the Bengals, I think, are the only 2 teams that
Yeah.
are like
Bengals are on an 8-game win streak.
8. Yeah,
Yeah.
still crazy. Like in the NFL, that's very hard to do, especially when the Chiefs are one of those teams that you beat. Um, I got the Niners though. I'd love to see it be competitive though. I'm not a Seahawks fan, obviously, but like I always root for them. Like they're just a fun team to root for.
Agree.
Underdogs.
I actually think that this game. Oh, Alex, go ahead. Go ahead, Alex.
Yeah.
No, okay. What I was gonna say is I think the 49ers are gonna win. I mean, I think the forecast I read it this weekend it's supposed to be rainy and windy, so it's really gonna be about who runs the ball the best. The 49ers like average like 3.4 yards a carry, which is like second best in the NFL. So I think whoever
You
controls
said
the
the
clock
49ers average 3.4
On
yards a
deep,
carry.
no,
Oh,
that's their
they
defense.
allow. They
That's
allow.
their
Okay.
defense. Yeah,
That allows, sorry,
Yeah.
yeah.
yes, their
Really
defense.
good,
But they got a better defense. I mean, if it's rainy, windy, it's all about who runs the ball better, and the 49ers are going to do it. So,
Yeah, I do think it's going to come down to the running game. Both of these quarterbacks, neither of them we've really seen in like big playoff moments. I don't know if Geno Smith has been in the playoffs. I could be wrong, but I don't remember him being in the
Yeah,
playoffs.
nothing I can remember.
And obviously Brock Purdy hasn't been there. So I do think it's going to come down to the running game. They're both top 10 in yards per carry, but the Niners defense is way better than the Seahawks defense. But I actually think the Seahawks have a chance. I would say it's going to be a close game. I would favor the Niners. I don't think they're going to win by 10 or more or 9.5 or more. I think it'll be a little bit closer. I think the only blowout is going to be the Dolphins Bills game. I think all the other games are going to be pretty competitive across the board. At least I would hope so. And I think the Seahawks' biggest kind of X factor is going to be DK Metcalf. I mean, he's too good of a receiver. He only gets 60 or 65 yards a game receiving. I think he has like 5 touchdowns this year, 6 touchdowns.
6.
Yeah, that's terrible when you're talking about a guy of his caliber. So I think he needs to have like 100 to 125 yards receiving for them to even have a chance. Because if you're just relying on Kenneth Walker and their backup running backs to take it home for you, I mean, you need. I don't know if Lockett is hurt, but I don't think he's done anything in a little while. Metcalf
Lockett's not out.
Yeah, okay. I know Metcalf hasn't really done anything. So Geno Smith's going to need all the help he can get. And I think if DK goes out and has 40 yards receiving on 6 or 7 targets, that's not okay. So I think he's going to have to show up big time.
Yeah, so I think that's the piece of this, right? I don't think it would be a surprise if Seattle won because they have the weapons. When you talk about Lockett, when you talk about DK, when you talk about Walker, it's not like they don't have the weapons. Even with Fant at tight end, it's just that the 49ers defense has been so dominant for so long this year that it's hard to see, even with those weapons, them really moving the ball consistently enough to score enough points to beat the 49ers.
Does anybody know what the 2 games were like this year for them? They played twice, obviously.
I think
So
the Niners won both of them.
Yeah, so
Niners,
the Niners won 21-13.
And then 27-7.
Yep.
I don't know. I think it's going to be a good game. I hope it's a good game. Because I mean, I think that both quarterbacks are going to make mistakes just because they haven't been there before. I know Brock Purdy has been pretty good, and he's just been a system quarterback kind of thing. I know that's 49ers thing is just throw anybody in that quarterback and they can do what Garoppolo does or whatever quarterback you have there. But I think he's going to make mistakes. I think the playoff atmosphere is going to get to him a little bit. I think from both ends, the Seahawks and the 49ers. I think both quarterbacks are going to make mistakes, and it's going to be whoever ends up capitalizing on those mistakes, whether it be field position or defensive touchdowns, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
So just before we get off this topic, so do we all have the Niners winning, or?
Yeah, I think we do.
I think it's a landslide.
Okay.
I had Niners 21-10.
I didn't have a score prediction. I just think it's going to be close.
Yeah, so I don't think it's going to be close. Again, and I think this goes to your point. Now, I do have a somewhat of an opposite point. I think Brock Purdy is not going to make mistakes because I think that's going to be the offensive design is don't make mistakes, take a sack, throw it away. It's okay to punt. You know, if I was the 49ers coaches, that's literally what I'd be preaching all week. I think, and Geno has been a little bit of a gunslinger. He does have 11 interceptions. I think the 49ers defense are going to force some turnovers, and I think they're going to pull away, not necessarily because of, like I said, what that offense is going to do, but I think because of what that defense is going to do. So I have it probably at least, I think at least a 14-point win. I think they're going to, I'm not going to say easily, but I think they're going to cover the spread.